you guys ready for an awesome adventure this afternoon? Oh, come on, work with mommy. Are you guys ready for an awesome adventure? Oh, good. Now I feel like Mick Jagger. Awesome. All right, today we're going to have an amazing adventure. We're going to explore Australia, New Zealand, Ecuador, but more importantly, we're going to explore the human spirit and the little things that allow groups of ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary things together, and the magic that happens when you create true human synergy with your team. Now, what's human synergy and how is it different from teamwork? Well, human synergy is teamwork basically supersized. Human synergy says we're better, stronger, faster, more productive, more successful because of one another. And human synergy says that our outcomes are greater than the sum of our individual strengths. And human synergy says that we're not just walking side by side together towards a common goal. Sometimes we're literally carrying one another. Maybe Vince Lombardi said it best when he said his famous quote, "The secret is to work less as individuals and more as a team. As a coach, I play not my 11 best, but my best 11. It's not about the superstars on the team. It's about the people who understand how to truly work together for the greater good and use their collective energy. And that's what we're here to talk about today, helping you build your businesses through human synergy. And we're going to do it the fun way. I'm going to teach it to you the most fun way I know, and that's through the sport of adventure racing. Has anybody else ever heard of adventure racing before? The Eco Challenge? I can see you guys. So, have you? A couple? A few? All right, for the uninitiated, I'll tell you a little bit about my crazy sport. The Eco Challenge was started by Mark Burnett. You guys know Mark Burnett from Survivor? Yeah, he started Survivor. Well, this was his very first reality show. And what he did was he took teams of 4 people, one of which had to be a man, one of which had to be a woman, and he'd put you in the middle of some, crazy island like they do in Survivor, or like Tibet, Morocco, Nepal, Japan, Fiji, wherever it may be, and they give you a map and compass, and they say, see you in 600 miles, and you got to do whatever it takes to get there nonstop. Mountain biking, kayaking, whitewater rafting, camel riding, horseback riding, caving, whatever it takes to get from point A to point B through 40 different checkpoints. And there's no stopping at hotels at night. It's whoever gets there first wins. So it really is the ultimate in true human synergy and teamwork. So before I go on, I'll let you guys have a little peek at what the sport of adventure racing is all about, and then I'll share with you the 8 essential elements of human synergy.
They have traveled here from every corner of the world. A gathering of daring adventurers, testing their skills against the wilds of the Australian outback, the rainforest, and the Great Barrier Reef. For 10 non-stop days and nights, they must hike, mountain climb, paddle, ride, and race through some of the most captivating yet dangerous terrain in one of the last great wilderness areas on Earth. For some, it is a quest that ends in tragedy and defeat. For a select few, it is the greatest triumph of their lives. This is the world's toughest adventure race, the Discovery Channel Eco Challenge, Australia.
Okay, how many people want to be adventure racers when they grow up? 3. 4. All right, obviously the point here isn't to make anybody into adventure racers, because actually we always say to each other, friends don't let friends adventure race. The reason that we use adventure racing as a model for teamwork is because really, this isn't a sport. When you're a couple days into this, this is a journey, and it's a journey in teamwork. I mean, without looking at the pictures, tell me if this isn't your life. You've got small teams of men and women working together, trying to make it through a series of checkpoints towards a seemingly impossible goal under intense time pressures and changing market conditions and trying to do it better than anyone else in the world. Yes? Now, the difference between adventure racing and real life is the fact that we all have to stay together the entire time, and we all have to cross the finish line together. And if one person drops out, we are not allowed to finish the race. We're disqualified. So that's the dynamic that has really taught us, better than any other teams in the world, to create true human synergy. So what are the 8 essential elements of this human synergy that I've discovered over the last 13 years as an adventure racer and firefighter? What really makes the world best teams, and how can you guys grow your business through human synergy? It doesn't cost anything, and it's going to give you a huge, huge leap towards making that presidential level this year, right? All right, the first essential element of this human synergy is total commitment. And I love this quote by Howard Schultz: "Everyone starts strong. Success comes to those with unwavering commitment to be at the end." It's real easy when you first start in this business to be all fired up and excited about it, isn't it? Commitment really starts when it's not as much fun anymore. When you're getting home from work late at night, when you haven't made your calls for that day, when you just want to get 1 or 2 more in for that day and you just don't feel like it. That's where commitment starts. Team builders understand the 4 P's of commitment: planning, a sense of purpose, your perseverance, and your preparation. Okay? We're going to just highlight a couple of these right now. Your preparation. I love this idea that luck equals opportunity plus preparation. Do you guys know who Lance Armstrong is? Yes, Lance. He's won the Tour de France 7 times. Has he been lucky? No way. He prepares better than anyone else in the world. His preparation is unique among other bike riders. He knows every inch of that course. He knows the exact grade of all the hills. He knows where his competition is going to fall apart. He studies this intently. And then when he sees an opportunity, when one of the other teams fails, when it's his big day on the hill that he knows the best, that's when he creates his own luck. So luck is opportunity plus preparation. Make sure that you are prepared every single day, that if you get that opportunity to close that sale, to bring in that new associate, to bring on a new customer, that you are always absolutely prepared. That's where you have your own luck. And perseverance. We say in our sport that commitment starts when the fun stops. Everybody looks great at the start line. Everyone's packs are perfectly clean, and their shirts are pretty, and they're high-fiving each other, and their hair's all coiffed, and they look great, and they're having a great time. Woo, we're in the Eco Challenge. About 12 hours later, there's sideways hail. It's the middle of the night. You're bleeding. You've fallen over. You got leeches all over you. You smell really bad. That's when commitment really starts, when the fun stops. Now, I actually had a teammate share with me, or show to me, how important commitment was and what it really meant at the end of the 2000 Eco Challenge in Borneo, where we won the World Championship for the very first time. And we won because my teammate Mike Closer said just the right thing to me at the right moment to make me understand what commitment was all about. We were winning 5 days into the race. We're always racing the French. The French is the other best team in the world. We're always racing the French to the finish line. And we're about 5 days into this race in the Eco Challenge. We had to go into a caving section and ascend up these bat caves, and it looked like it was going to be another 5 or 6 hours to the finish line. So we're all hyped up. We're ready to go. We got a 3-hour lead in the French. And we step into the caves at the end of this race, and all of a sudden, we're up to here in the bat guano. The bat guano is the bat of poopy. And so we're wading through the guano trying to find the ropes to ascend up the ropes. We get about halfway up the ropes on our jugs, and we're hanging there. And all of a sudden, we hear all these locals cheering. Yay, this is great. We thought they were cheering for us because we were winning the Eco Challenge. What they were cheering about was that the French team had come into the caves right behind us. They had closed that 3-hour gap, and now we're underneath our ropes within moments, shaking the ropes, going, "Get off the rope, Americans! Get off the rope! We come to win the Eco Challenge!" So I immediately go into full panic. And all of a sudden, we're not winning the Eco Challenge, and everything's not going right. And what we discovered as we ascended out of those caves is that it was not a short section, it was another 6 hours on these razor-sharp ridge lines with our feet bleeding, no water, dehydrated 120 degrees, having worn the same Lycra clothes for the last 7 days. And I was at the end of my rope, physically, mentally, emotionally, and now we were about to lose the Eco Challenge to the French. And so I start freaking out a little bit, and I start doing my... Because as a girl, when you get overwhelmed, yes, cry. So there I am, walking down the ridgeline, crying, trying not to fall 1,000 feet. And it was one of those moments where your team could have said just the right thing or just the wrong thing. And one of my teammates, Mike Closer, came back to me. And he walks up to me as I'm completely blubbering. I'd actually stopped. The French were closing on us. And this was a little moment about commitment. He walked up to me and said, okay, you know what? I know I have a wife and I have a daughter, and I know that you people need to do this. He said, but there's a difference between people that win the Eco Challenge and people that lose the Eco Challenge. And it's not that people that win the Eco Challenge aren't crying. It's just that they're crying, and he grabs my hand and says, and they're walking. And he starts dragging me down the ridgeline. I realize, you know what? It's not about not falling apart. Life is not about not having those hard moments. It's not about not crying. It's about crying and continuing to walk. And at the end of the day, we actually beat the French by 2 hours. Yeah.